Roger. I know these bitches gon' love it. And you could near get up on me. I'm steady tucked like a cubby dummy. Whole hard in the trenches. Nigga ask me what I'm benching. Triple digits, nigga, don't forget to mention. Whole hard in the trenches. Nigga ask me what I'm benching. Triple digits, nigga, don't forget to mention. Worse, we only real, nigga. Hey, my whole heart in this shit. Locked in forever, nigga. Worst life. We only real, gang.
Shout out to Neon, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna play that man's song every single week. Every single week. Yes, absolutely. You know, you already know what time it is, man. That freestyle.
I thought Mual said shout out to me. I was like, boy, shout out to
Neon, man. Hey, you know what's, bro? Hey, first off, don't disrespect me like that, Nick. Don't do it. Hey, it's hard to talk, bro. I got my braces off, man. Like two hours ago, and I got these retainers, bro. I can't. Like, Nick, I think you or Ryan, one of y'all had these little Invisalign things. Where it's hard for me to, bro. It is hard, bro.
Nick had them too.
I can't even pronounce things. It's incredible. It's incredibly difficult, and it's killing me right now.
Trust me, it is definitely. I didn't even finish mine, but that's
I know
how painful it was for me.
But look, I'm gonna try my best, man. This is gonna be an interesting podcast because my mic is right here, so y'all gonna hear every single issue that I'm dealing with right now. But while we're here, and we got our guy, Jordan Foote on the Trap or Die podcast tonight. We were scheduled to have Cody Rourke, and he's still expected to be on for everybody who's watching and listening live. He has some things he has to take care of right quick, and hopefully he's able to join us tonight. But right now we do have Jordan Foote. Jordan Foote covers the Kansas City Chiefs for Sports Illustrated. He has a ton of things going on with Sports Illustrated and some other obligations. But first and foremost, Jordan, how are you feeling tonight? Is everything good with you, boss man?
Good, man. Thank you guys for having me on. It's always good. So I'm on this NBA shift right now, and I'm just doing news. Any little thing, if when Jason Preston kept his name in the draft, I was like, oh, gotta cover that. And I was like, man, it was music to my ears. When I heard, hey, can you come on a podcast? Can you step away for a minute? I was like, yes, I can. I can step away for about 30 and, get away from all that mess that's going on. So it's good to be on. Thanks for having me on, man.
Absolutely. And one of the things that, because when you said that, I think Redskins Wire a while ago, they had some interest in me, and I wasn't too committed because I knew I got a day job, man. And I knew sometimes and AP Associated Press, I knew if I committed to them, I gotta talk about every single thing at every single minute, man. So I can imagine how busy you are, and how much time are you spending, would you say, just keeping the updates going, the news updates? How much time are you spending per day on that?
Man, luckily for the Chiefs side, I have my editor-in-chief who's the head of the site. He does all the news stuff. He did, Tyreek Hill got engaged over the weekend or whatever, so he did that story. I get to do the fun stuff, the actual football type stuff, so I don't have to worry too much about that. But man, there's someone who does, it's Charles Goldman, shout out to Charles. He does the Chiefs Wire. Dude, literally any small thing that happens, he has a story in 5 minutes. He just sits there and waits all day. I'm like, I can't do it.
I can't.
It's a nonstop thing because there's always something going on, in sports. There's not a 9 to 5 or even a midnight where it shuts off. I remember the Chiefs were trying to sign Trent Williams, and they got really close from San Francisco. That my editor had alarms set every 15 minutes throughout that night, 1:15, 1:30, 1:45, all night, didn't get any sleep because he was worried they were going to sign him, and then it turns out they didn't even do it. So that's just the nature of the beast,
Now, this is interesting. Y'all were close to getting Trent. Now, it's been some time, because I do cover Washington. It's been some time, but, y'all were really this close to getting Trent?
Yeah, literally, man. He called up Coach and was like, man, I'm going to Kansas City. He was like, hold up, give me 15 minutes, and they worked it out.
Oh, wow.
It was insane.
Wow. So let me ask you this question, right? And I had this question for Cody as well, but the fandom side, Is it safe to say that you are you're a fan of Kansas City as well, or are you just doing the job of reporting?
Good question, man. I was gonna ask the same thing.
Yeah, man, like, because you have to keep it real with yourself. Like, I can say I'm not, but like, you
Keep it
can't beat
real.
that out of yourself.
Keep it real.
Like, you have to, like, even if there's that like 1 or 5%, whatever it is, like, you want them to do well, obviously. And like, I think it's the same thing where even the newspaper reporters, like, they cover a team for so long, or they grew up watching them, whatever. They're not fans necessarily,
For sure.
but they can't be like 100% objective. Like, you can still call a spade, but you also want them to do well. So if they lose, it doesn't bother me like it did when I was a kid, because I'm from Kansas City, so I've been following them my whole life. But now being able to cover them, I think as long as you can kind of like take that fan hat off
Have a
when
healthy
necessary,
balance.
yeah, it's all
sure.
about balance for sure.
Yeah,
So
and
do you have an actual football team? I'm just curious. Do you actually have a team that you actually root for?
I'm kind of a Rams fan now, man, because Stafford's been my dude.
Right.
Rodgers has
Okay.
been my dude, so I've been a Packers guy for a while. I'm kind of a closet fan of a lot of teams. Like, I think now I'm trying to break into sports media, just a fan of the sport and the teams or the players as a whole. I'm kind of a player guy more than a team guy right now.
okay, that's
Sure.
actually not bad, man. Because the reason why I asked the fan question, we're first of all we're interviewing Jesus Christ. This is gonna be hard. Interviewing Jordan tonight, but I brought that up because in my head when I was prepping, I thought about this. Like, it's so hard. Like, when I did my first couple years, my very first year covering Washington, like, just at the training camp itself, I had to remind myself, like, bro, one of the best advice and biggest pieces of advice that they told me, some of the reporters that I knew was like, we do not want no cheerleaders in the press box. We don't like cheerleaders on the sidelines, none of that stuff. Like, you're here to do jobs. So always keep that in mind. And like, one of the first times I was out there, I got overly excited on a play. And Kirk Cousins almost missed Ryan Grant down the field for like a 40-yard bomb. And I'm like, bro, he is wide open. Throw it. And I had to catch myself like, all right, Mo, like, look who's right beside you. Relax. So I just wanted to know, like, if that, I mean, you explained it already, but that was kind of the basis of my question. Like, how hard is it to balance the fan side versus actually doing your job and keeping that together? But if that's kind of where I was at with it.
Yeah, for sure. And I know the first, like, when I first got into college and got that experience covering just the team in general, you want to say we so bad. You're like, we're going to go do this. And then, like, finally, I just told myself, I'm like, dude, whether it's you're going to put $5 in the jar every time you say we, you're going to, like, give someone else $5. I was like, dude, you got to hold yourself accountable for that. And it took, like, probably a month or two. And then I finally stopped. And, like, I think there's still, like, teams like KU basketball, stuff like that, where I don't even cover them or never would, where I can still say we.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to say they as much as you can, because A, you're not on the team, so you shouldn't really be saying it anyway.
Yes.
But B, like, you're so invested in them as a fan, regardless of what team it is, to where you say the same thing. Like, it's hard to get out.
That's what I be telling Ryan. Like, Ryan, Nick, all these people, when they say we, I lie to you not. Y'all say it so much. Ryan is a Titans fan. Nick is a Cowboys fan, unfortunately. And I tell these people all the time, you just gotta stop saying we. Y'all not even part of the team. Like,
it's say that all he likes, but Maul says we as well when it comes to the
man. Look, I don't. Look, if there's 10 times where I mention watching football team, I probably say we. Catch myself saying we like 2 times.
It happens.
2 times.
It happens.
Yeah, man. That's all I'm saying, man. But look, Nick, I know you had some things that you wanted to get off your chest with Pat Mahomes, or some questions that you wanted to ask. I'm not entirely too sure, but before we get into Pat Mahomes in general, or specifically about Pat Mahomes, there was kind of some parallels between the Denver Broncos and the Kansas City Chiefs that I wanted to ask you all about, right? And from I'll sum up Cody's perspective since he's not here, or the Broncos' perspective since he's not here. But you know, the Broncos, Dakota's about to kill me. The Broncos, that's my dog, by the way. But they were, for, I would say, what, 4 or 5 years. Matter of fact, 5 years in a row, they won 5 straight division titles. 1 with Tebow, 4 with Peyton Manning, and a Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win. And since Peyton Manning's era, things have changed in a sense where they haven't been able to have a quarterback. They haven't been able to have a head coach. There's instability on their end. Like, it went from up and then it went down. On the opposite end, you have the Kansas City Chiefs. Dakota. You have the Kansas City Chiefs, where it was literally the inverse. You had struggling prior to Andy Reid. What was it? 1 playoff appearance in the previous 6 seasons. That was before Andy Reid. And then you get Andy, and you get a competent quarterback in Alex Smith. And then you get an amazing elite talent in Patrick Mahomes. And all of a sudden, you're talking about 7 playoff appearances in the last 8 seasons. You're talking about 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 Super Bowl win. For you and for Kansas City in itself, can you explain the process in terms of what experience, what transpired, and how big of a piece Andy Reid has been for the Kansas City Chiefs?
Yeah, man, he has been huge. Like, when they brought him in, I was like, I don't know why this dude wants to go to Kansas City. Like, that team sucks. The franchise isn't doing nothing. They don't have very much talent. Like, Jamal Charles was like the only really good player on that team. They made the most out of it. They got Alex Smith. Man, shout out to Alex. Like, Chiefs fans, obviously they're spoiled with Mahomes, but like, Alex Smith was a pretty good quarterback. Like, he was pretty solid. They were making the playoffs with him. Then they just got lucky with Mahomes. Like, obviously, they thought he was going to be good, but I don't think anyone expected him to be this good. And, like,
nobody.
Yeah. I think it's fair to say that, like, if he wasn't on the Chiefs with Reid, he wouldn't be the same quarterback. It's like a perfect combination of, like, Kelsey and Hill, Andy Reid, and Mahomes. Like, just the talent on that team is crazy. The coaching is great. I think Reid's going to be there as long as he can. Like, until he can't really walk anymore. Like, he's going to be trying to coach that team. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you when you have a guy like that? So, part of it's skill, obviously. Like, the GM does a really good job. But a lot of it really is just them, everything coming together at the right time. And luckily for them, like, they're not going to be the next Patriots dynasty. Like, I don't think that's ever going to happen again, probably. But they got a shot to do some pretty good things over the next, like, probably decade or so.
Now, Nick, I don't know if you had anything specific, but there was some some comments that you were interested in Pat Mahomes. Was there anything specific you had for Pat?
What's funny is he actually answered one thing I was about to say.
I got a
I was about to say, you think
you're done? I got a question.
The only thing you think Pat Mahomes was he that good? And then he said, yeah, he thinks it's a little bit of combination of Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes. Because when Mahomes was in college, bro, he was just slinging that job. They wasn't really winning. I mean, he always had the arm talent, but his progressions weren't like that for real. So I mean, he kind of answered. I do think it's a little bit of Andy Reid, because Andy Reid always been a winner. So I mean, come on, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Where you at with it, Ryan?
So this is kind of a loaded question. I mean, I kind of have a few questions all at one at the same time. I just want to
unload it, right?
Briefly talk about the Super Bowl. Do you feel like the reason? I just want to know why you thought, looking back on the game after watching it, what are some of the reasons you felt like Kansas City, why they lost that game? Me personally, I think it had a lot to do with the Ryan being injured. I'm sure you probably might bring that up as well. And if you thought that they did enough in the offseason, because they did a lot of things by signing, Kyle Long and Joe Tunney, and traded for Orlando Brown.
Yeah.
Right? And I just wanted to know if you felt like they'd done everything as far as offensive line is concerned to make another run back at the title, or if you think they're going, win another Super Bowl. And I also want to know what you thought about it.
Hold on. Let them get that one.
No, I can take all three. All three. What's the third one?
My bad. And I'm a big fan of Cornell Powell, 5th round draft pick that y'all got him. I just want to know where you think he'll fit in the depth chart and what you've seen so far from him.
Yeah. So the line was definitely the main reason. Like, obviously, Kelsey had like there were a bunch of weird drops in that game. Like Hill dropped a touchdown, Kelsey dropped a touchdown. Mahomes had that one throw where he was like parallel to the ground, hit the running back in the face mask, he dropped it. Like people say, oh, Brady would have won that game. I'm like, I don't know if Brady scores a point. Like, do they get a first down with him? Like, as soon as Mahomes got that ball while he was injured, he was taking off. Like, the line was that bad. And I mean, no team has like a complete backup offensive line that can like play in the Super Bowl. And like Tampa's front four, that's pretty good. And like they had a really good defensive game plan. But everyone that's like, oh, the blueprint's out to beat the Chiefs. I'm like, man, the blueprint is have everybody be injured, like have the worst case scenario. Like it's possible to beat them, but the Chiefs also have to beat themselves. So that was a big part of the Super Bowl. I think it's the Chiefs just weren't there. Like literally they didn't have a bunch of their players. Could they have played better? Definitely. It would have been a little bit different of a game, but like Brady's not going to make mistakes and give you the ball back. They're going to take care of the football. So Tampa's a really good team. And then I think they did enough. Like they have a complete new offensive line. So it's going to take probably 6 to 8 weeks for them to gel. But I think come playoff time, if they stay healthy, they're like 12 deep now on the offensive line, which is crazy. Yeah. So the GM basically saw that and was like, not happening again. So we'll see what happens there. And Powell, man, I like him a lot. Like because I did this thing. I scouted 100 players in the 100 days leading up to the draft. Very dumb decision on my part. But anyway.
Hey, look, hard work. Hard work. I respect it.
It was rough. Everyone was like, well, it only takes like 20 or 30 minutes to write those articles up. I'm like, yeah, but you also have to you got to watch the players. You know, you got to watch the tape and see what you see. So Powell was one of them. And I liked him a lot. Like, it was weird for him because he was a fifth-year senior and, didn't even burst onto the scene, basically, until Lawrence had COVID or whatever, then really took off. So he did a lot of his damage late, and he's an older rookie. The Chiefs, luckily, they have Kelsey, they have Hill, they have the running back Edwards, so they have options on offense. So I don't think he's going to be tested a lot early, but they lost Sammy Watkins. Powell went to Clemson. He kind of plays a little bit like Sammy. I think eventually he could end up being that replacement. So I like him a lot. And for the 5th round, you can't get much better value than that.
Steal, man.
Yeah.
That's a steal. 5th round, for sure.
So 2 things. Chet, appreciate the follow. What's going on, boss man? I hope all is well with you. Yes, he does throw passes to a Ferrari and Tyreek Hill. And Hillary T, what's going on? I appreciate the follow. Appreciate y'all checking in and giving the show a shot, man. It's nice to see y'all in here. You kind of answered one of the things about the offensive line right now, Jordan. And I guess one of my questions, right, was about improvement. This is probably one of the hardest questions for easily the best team, if not second best team. I guess by default, since Tampa Bay won it, it could be the second best team. But how do you improve upon a team who's already really good? How does Kansas City improve upon 2020?
Man, that's tough. Their red zone defense was really bad last year, so I think getting stronger there, really getting more out of the young players, because they're kind of top heavy, if that makes sense. They're paying a few guys a bunch of money to be good, and all of them are good, obviously, but they need to get more out of their first, second, third year guys. Mahomes, I love Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, he's the best quarterback in the league. He kind of got away with some not lazy stuff last year, but some of the stuff he tries that you're like, no, and then it works, and you're like, oh, okay, never mind. It wasn't working sometimes last year. So maybe he would take these 15-yard drops in the pocket. I'm like, man, I don't care.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
who you? Yeah, I'm like, dude, I don't care who your tackles are. They're gonna get beat if you're dropping that far. But also, I think if he trusts the offensive line, maybe he doesn't do that as much. So it's that whole chicken or the egg type thing. But just run the ball better, stay healthy. There are ways to get better. Obviously, they didn't win every game last year. Everyone ran with that 20-0 thing. He said, I'm like, did they expect him to say, oh, I want to go 14-6? Or
it's incredible that people took that seriously.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
incredible.
I'm like, he's gonna say he wants to win every game because he's not gonna say, "Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that." He's
But I
like,
would
"We're
imagine
gonna
it's
do
probably
this."
because they are the best team. They're projected to be the best team.
Oh,
So
yeah.
when they say 20-0, it's like people take it as a challenge. Like, oh, can they really do it? So people start considering it.
Yeah. 100%.
So I guess one of my things with hold on, oh my goodness, bro. I guess one of my things with Kansas City next. What happened? What you laughing at, bro?
Your friend, your boy, bro.
Like, what is wrong with him, bro?
He came on the show with a towel in his hand, bro. Like, he looked like.
He was just getting
First off,
prepared.
he came into the show muted and he's still talking. Do you have something to say, Eric?
Bro, we can't
You
even
know,
hear
this
you,
the funny
bro.
part. This the funny part. So when I got on the call, I'm like, dang, they're gonna give me the preview screen. I forgot I had my towel on my head. You know what I'm saying? I just watched stuff, you know what I mean? I'm looking a little clean. Then I cut it on. I seen y'all reaction. I say, oh shit, I still got my towel on my head. And boom. But what's going on with y'all, man? How y'all feeling?
What's up, man?
We good, man. Rick, this
Shut
is our guy Jordan Foote, man. He covers that boy Mahomes down in Kansas City, man. So you know what I'm saying? We were just talking a little bit of Mahomes, and we transitioned to how they improve, and truth be told, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to improve upon a team that's already Super Bowl contenders. But I guess one of the things is receivers. When I did some research earlier on Kansas City, just to see what was out there, the majority of the conversations trickled down to receivers. And a couple of names that popped up were the popular names, of course, obviously. N'Keal Harry, Josh Gordon, they're out there. N'Keal Harry recently requested a trade through his agent. And it's kind of funny. Nick and Ryan, and Rick, because Rick, by the way, is another Cowboys fan, unfortunately. But Nick and Rick.
I didn't like how you said that about Nick the first time, Nick. You ain't say nothing. Do not let him say unfortunately, bro. You just sit there and be quiet.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's unfortunate. It's the truth.
Get one little defense,
Jordan,
get one defense, and he want to be disrespectful.
Jordan,
Look,
this
first
is what
place.
I'm saying. This is what
First
happened.
place.
You see what I'm saying?
Ryan,
That's how we
Ryan.
feel about our team.
It's off the wheels, bro.
His team don't even
Why
have
do
a
you be
name,
talking
bro.
about?
Hey, first off, let me talk to y'all something about Nick and Rick. When Ryan and Jordan and myself is in this chat, address this as first place only. We're first place people. All right, that's what y'all need to do.
Yeah,
that's what y'all talk to us as first. Excuse me, Mr. First Place.
I got this one, Nick. I guess it depends. I guess it depends on what your mindset of first place is, because technically, the Titans was second place to the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? They were last place, I guess, just to say, in the Redskins.
No.
And the Redskins were last place.
First off, you come in here dead wrong. We need to transition back to Jordan. Because you are dead wrong, my brother. You don't.
Hey, I'm down for whatever.
You don't know.
I wasn't gonna say nothing good anyway. I'm here for whatever this is.
There we go. See,
okay, so let Rick continue on and continue being incorrect. Come on.
I knew something about this, man. But at the end of the day, you're saying you worry about divisions. You feel me? That's not what's important. I don't care about divisions.
Hey, we first play shorties over here.
What's your team name, bro?
Who we playing for?
It's called the team.
Bro. You know what? I'm sorry.
We're called the team.
All plays for first place in the division. I'm sorry for having my standards a little bit high.
So where's your standards at? You feel like you about
I want to win the bowl. I feel like we're not winning the bowl. We had a bad year.
No. It's a difference. It's a difference of what you want. Versus
no. Right. It's a difference. It's a difference.
Bro, that should be every coach's mentality, bro. At the end of the day, I get that you're not going to get that. Chances there's a 2 out
I'm
of 32.
specifically talking to you. I'm talking to Rick.
Hold on, Ryan. I'm gonna tell you what Rick trying to say. Rick is trying to say, if you're not first, you last. Everybody
100%.
over here.
Both of y'all was last. What are you talking about?
So
all three of us. All four of us.
That's true.
Hey, no. We're not agreeing. We're not agreeing with Rick tonight.
Now, granted, as a Cowboys fan, because we don't have success and we don't get to the playoffs, yes, I can understand why, division win, that baby step.
No, Rick, that's the one thing. That's the one thing I don't disagree with Rick on. I'm not gonna say he's right, but I don't disagree with him because the Cowboys
play small. What are you talking about?
Cowboys are about to make it back this year, though.
You think so?
I think. I hate to say it, but I think they're about to make it back.
I mean, we got
Let's give Jordan the floor on this one. Why do you think so? Because to be honest with you, I do acknowledge that it's a three-headed race for first place. So
I think it's two.
And Eagles is dead last. shout out to Clezo, shout out to Thomas. But why Dallas, Jordan?
The Skins and the boys. And honestly, bro, I told y'all already, bro. I think the Skins win the division. That's just me because Dallas has had. You said what?
Nothing about New York. You think the
I just don't think they're gonna win the division. Saquon's coming off an ACL tear. You feel me? The offense didn't look that great last year. Yes, the run game is gonna help. The run games is gonna help them out, but at the end of the day, I don't think. I think.
Bro, did you not forget what they did in the offseason? I'm not even like. How do you?
Bro, I get the transactions, bro. He still has to translate to the field, bro. I'm not saying that they didn't make no moves.
But you said their offense wasn't good last year. That's what they did. They improved the offense in the offseason.
Maul, just because you got people down, mean you're gonna be better, bro. At least that don't necessarily mean you're gonna be better, bro. You know what Scrim said? Scrim said we drafted people last year. That's why we're gonna be better this year. Yes, you got good people, bro, but that don't make sense. That's not logical. Yes, I expect the
first off, who is Philly drafted that you really think that they're gonna do anything? Don't matter.
What's funny is I think the Eagles had the worst draft out of all 32 teams.
I'm saying, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I compared it because Maul said they picked up people in the offseason. They addressed their offensive woes, so they're going to be better. It's a three-headed race this year. I said that doesn't necessarily translate. I'm not wrong. That don't translate because you picked up people.
Jordan, why is Dallas going to be the division favorites in the East?
Let me get back to New York. There you go.
I think Dak getting him, like, I think it's more about the other teams, but also like Dak. I think Dak's a really good quarterback. Like, I don't think he's elite, but I think he's a good quarterback. He's good, and like the Red Rifle was not very good last year, and like they didn't really have a huge offseason from someone who didn't follow it super close. So I mean, they could have, but I don't know. I just think Philly, I don't really buy into. Washington, they're a quarterback away from doing damage. Like, Washington's a good football team. They're well built. And then New York, they're almost the same way. Like, they are just lesser, I think. Like, I don't like Daniel Jones. They added some talent. I just don't trust. They're kind of all like, I'll believe it when I see it type team, I think.
Exactly.
But Dallas, like, we know what Dak is going to give when he's healthy. They still have talent on offense. They have – I thought Van Der Esch was going to be like the next big thing. And now he's going to be like the next big free agent, and the Chiefs are about to have to go after him. But he didn't exactly pan out. Like, I think they're going to be fine. Like, I don't think they're going to run away with it or anything, but I could see them going like 10-7, 11-6. And I think in that division, that probably gets it done.
What you think about their guy, Trayvon Diggs? What's your opinion on that, man, if you have one?
He was my dude heading into the draft. I was like super hyped when they drafted him. And did they pair him up with Surtain, or did Surtain go to Denver?
I think Surtain went to Denver.
Surtain went to Denver, yeah.
Okay, so who did Dallas end up with first round?
It was somebody that was bad. He was terrible.
Okay.
Kelvin Joseph out of Kentucky.
Yeah. I thought they got Micah too, though. Or
They got Micah.
Oh, okay.
First round was Micah.
That's a good pick then.
I think Trayvon just needed a safety, bro. To be honest with you, at least so he can be as aggressive as he want to be.
Yeah.
I think that's all he was missing. He was being aggressive with a secondary that wasn't good.
Couldn't
can't be aggressive with a secondary like that.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean,
I
I
got
definitely
better
saw
watching traction.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We got rid of Xavier Woods. He was trash.
So who was playing safety is my question.
Xavier Woods.
No, he's out of there. Donovan Wilson.
Oh, you said is playing safety. I said it was.
Yeah.
Who was playing
Donovan
safety
Wilson.
for the Dallas Cowboys in 2021?
Yeah. Donovan Wilson, and then the other one was up for grabs. But Donovan Wilson is the dude who I sent the video in the chat who laid out Dalvin Cook.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think he need to play strong safety though, for real.
And who laid out Dalvin Cook? Who's this that laid out Dalvin Cook?
Oh, Donovan Wilson, 37.
Yeah. He definitely got ball skills and he hit, bro. You know what I'm saying? But again, still he still was getting sauced up too. I want to see what he do look like next year as well. He wasn't looking real good last year, but he had plays where it's like, all right, if our defense get a little bit better, I could definitely see him making some plays. Or he need to get more time. Xavier Woods need to go somewhere else. Because once he made that comment about playing 70% or people not playing 100% all game, I was like, yeah, he need to leave. Because that's not the mentality you got to have on the football team. We already don't got vets, bro, on that mob. You know what I'm saying? We don't need people on the team that's talking, recklessly in the defense, bro, because it's contagious. You feel
It's
me?
contagious, bro.
It is, bro. It really
It's
is.
contagious, bro. Y'all remember
You know what I'm saying?
that?
And once we get that
Y'all
dog, bro, hopefully Micah comes in, bro. And he's that dog. Hopefully, you know, DeMarcus takes this veteran role. You know what I'm saying? We can have something on defense, bro. That's what we need. Because last year it was atrocious.
I
Hey,
agree.
pause. Maul, congratulations. Hey, I
Yeah,
think this is either the first or the
see it,
second
man.
time I
You
seen
see
Maul
it.
without his braces, bro.
You
Shut the
see
grill,
it,
y'all.
like,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
you know what I'm saying? I'm in
First
that
time I seen my
thing. You know
man,
what I'm saying?
you hear me?
He ugly, bro.
Give my man some gum, give my man an apple, give my man all that stuff he couldn't have.
Yeah, apples and chewing gum, baby. All at
You feel
me.
me? I'm tired of you talking like Kanye West when the rubber bands is
Well,
in. You feel
it's
me?
even bad now. They've been around this entire show. I'm struggling, bruh. I feel like I'm from dirty South, bruh. I can't pronounce any words. Can't do it. But listen, man, because I know I actually transitioned, unfortunately, away from the N'Keal Harry and Josh Gordon thing. But my question was, because that's what was popping up when I was doing my Googles. Should KC pursue either one? Like, do they have interest in either N'Keal or Josh?
And
Nope.
if I'm the Chiefs, probably not. And the Chiefs themselves, I know they're not going to. Like, I like Josh Gordon, but he is like years removed from being really, really good. And B, man, I just feel bad for him. He can't stay in the league. And like I hope he can stay this time, and I hope he goes somewhere where he does well. But I just don't know, man.
You know the rule change is different now with marijuana, so
That's true.
Hey, but be careful.
So-
He was doing a little bit more than that weed.
Yeah.
He was doing a little bit more than that.
I think he'd be a good backup tight end, bro.
Nick,
Great backup tight end.
Switch him to a tight end. No.
He's a good player. Like, I like him. Good athlete, man. And the rule change will help him. But man, N'Keal, I feel bad for him because like he just isn't quick enough at the NFL level. Like in college, he was like barely fast enough. Now he's too small to be a tight end, too big to be like that boundary wide receiver. He can't be in the slot. He can't return. Cam's not a deep ball thrower at this point. He's like a short passing game, rely on the run. So man, people keep bringing up Seattle for like every deep ball vertical receiver. And like, I'm like, how many do they need? Like, it'd be cool if Josh Gordon like came back there, like if N'Keal went, but I'm like, man, Russell Wilson, I don't know what's up with that. But for the Chiefs, man, they have, I think, enough, like just enough to where it's not worth bringing them in. Also, I think N'Keal's owed like $4 or $5 million next year, if I remember correct. So that's something to take into account.
he's still on his rookie year,
but
right?
man,
Rookie deal, excuse me.
Yeah. And then he has that 5th-year option. So it's something worth considering for sure. I mean, anytime you have Mahomes, you want to give him another option or whatever. But maybe Dak. Does Dak want another option? Does he want something opposite Amari? Or is he fine with CD and all the stuff they got going on there? I'm kicking into the Cowboys people now.
What do y'all think?
Does he want somebody on the opposite side? I mean, I think we got all the pieces we need at receiver, and that was one of the things I was thinking about when they were talking about picking up the Pitts Bowl. The Pitts boy. Yeah, because I was like, I mean, yes, it would be nice. But I would have been very disappointed with Jerry if he would have made that move because we needed other things. We don't need it offensively. Like, offensively, we were good last year. You know what I'm saying? Granted, we did have a lot of turnovers, which is great for Nick. But, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we still was able to produce. We still looked, productive.
Without a quarterback, too.
Exactly. I mean, a little bit, yes. You still got a chance to see it. But, yes, ultimately, we still looked pretty decent with our starting quarterback. But we got Gallup. Gallup is he's trying to get a number one spot. He's trying to get paid. I think this is his contract year coming up. Coop, I feel like he was just trying to bounce back from the time the time when he was with the Raiders. I think he kind of did that. I still feel like he goes away sometimes against number one corners a little bit more for my liking, because if I was there, that'd be something different question.
All right.
But and then we got CD. CD. He on the up and up, man. I think he's gonna have a good year this year. He didn't have Dak the whole year, so that's gonna be interesting as well. So
shout out Tony Pollard, by the way. He's my favorite. He's one of my favorite players.
I like Tony.
I love Tony
Shout
Pollard.
out TP, man. Shout out TP. Dallas has always been good, man, with the backup running backs, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. We always had some sneaky little pieces, man. And TP definitely, when he come in the game, the energy changed.
Mm-hmm.
The energy changed. It was the same thing we had Felix, same thing we had Julius, same thing.
Just enlighten me real quick. What what sneaky pieces y'all used to have, bro?
We had Randall when
Lance Dunbar.
Lance Dunbar, the
Dunbar?
boxer thief, my man Randall.
Hey, right.
Tashard Choice when he came in for a little while.
Tashard Choice was okay.
Felix,
bro.
it don't matter.
Hey, hold up.
Felix,
Third
yeah.
and 3.
Felix was cool. Felix was cool.
I definitely
We had some sneaky pieces, bro. Change the pace backs, bro. And we always had some nice little. Now Ryan. When I said TP was pretty good, you pulled up his stats and you was like, "Where?" You made me feel bad.
No,
but I was trying.
Don't do that.
You did.
I could tell you.
You did. No,
I'm a TP fan.
TP goes hard.
I never said TP was like the best running back. Obviously, he's not gonna have the numbers, but I just feel like every time he comes in a game, it's just that 10 yards, 15 yards, 5 yards.
I like TP.
Like it's quick, and I love his change of pace, man. And I just want us to use him the way he needs to be used, the way he was used in college, and then hopefully we do it this year. I think they said we will, so I'm excited for TP. I am excited.
So let me ask another tough question for you, man. We know that all good things come to an end eventually. Andy Reid is 63 years old. Pat Mahomes is on a 10-year deal. He signed one last year, so he has 9 years left. Can we expect the duo to last this entire time? And my follow-up with that is more about Eric Bieniemy and how he may fit into that entire scheme of plans. But I guess the first question before we tackle that is, can we expect the duo to last that entire time?
Man, that's tough. And like a dude like Andy, who has always been like really overweight and it seems like he has a knee surgery like every year or something. He was walking around with a cane at OTA. So like,
man.
And that's not like a huge deal, but like he's already 63 and still like he gets around fine come game day. I think he'll be able to coach as long as he wants to. But man, if anything, if he does make it to the end of that deal, that's got to be it. And I don't think he's going to make it to the end. Like, I think maybe till he's possibly 70. Like, I don't know. It's tough to decide. I mean, he has the best job in the league, probably, coaching Mahomes. Also, Bieniemy, it's crazy that he doesn't have a job. It's insane.
It's crazy.
And, like, I know that he is not going to wait out Andy Reid unless it was, like, 2 or 3 years. Like, if Reid said, when I turn 65, I'm going to give you the job, he'd probably wait that out. But I don't think Reid wants to give it up that quick. Like, why would he want to? He has a good job in place. He can still do it at a high level. So, man, I know Mahomes is going to be there at the end of the deal unless something crazy happens. But will Reid be there? That's tough to say. If he was like 5 or 6 years younger, then yeah, for sure, because you have guys like Belichick, Pete Carroll that are old. But it's just a different situation, I think, with him.
What's the age? What's the ages for like around the general age coaches like to retire? Like I know you mentioned Pete.
Well, Pete's in his 70s, and that's kind of where I was getting the base. Like he's I think
he's
he's one of the oldest ones.
How old is Bill?
You said Pete old as hell.
Good question. I could look that up right quick with Bill, but I'm sure Bill is in the 70s too. Hold on.
I think Bill's like 67, bro. I'm not sure.
He's 69. 69.
Okay, so he's close.
How old is Belichick?
69. So he'll be 70 next year.
Yeah, they're right.
I could see Reid going to 70, maybe.
Hey, would you say Eric? Right not too far behind him.
Right. You know, right. You might as well apply for head coach job.
What was you about to say, Nick?
I think Andy would take an advisory role and let Eric step into like a head coach role. I think that's the only way it'll happen sooner than later.
Yeah.
Even if he's having success?
I think it'd be more of a health thing though. Like, I want to spend more time with my family. I don't want to be, that close to the game. I think if he gets one more bowl, I think he'll do that.
And the thing with Andy was like he was so good for so long. The only thing people had on him is that he couldn't win a Super Bowl. Then he won a Super Bowl, so he's like, I'm going to flip the bird to you guys. If he wins one more, he's like, I'm a top 5 coach ever, like easily top 10 coach ever. He couldn't win the Super Bowl, He never had the quarterback. Like Donovan McNabb was a really good quarterback. Smith was a good quarterback. I'm like, when did Andy Reid ever have the elite quarterback? Vic was out of jail and not bad. He had that first really, really good year, but he wasn't ever that crazy of a quarterback to begin with in terms of a pure passer or whatever. So Reid, like now, he has the Super Bowl. Like he doesn't have anything else to prove, so that could take a couple years off. Also, maybe.
Yeah,
I was just having this argument with somebody about CP3. I just had that correlation because
people are obsessed with rings, dude. Like
I was just saying that, like that's all he needed. That's all. Like that's all they put over CP head, bro. Like you don't got no ring. So they was like, dang, is he gonna retire next year? You know.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like it's the pinnacle. Like it's the top of the line. Like a lot of people still hold that over Dan Marino, and a lot of it had very little to do with him. Like he delivered. It had very little to do with him. So I kind of get it, man. And like more on Bieniemy, right? And I appreciate your time, bro. Like that you've been giving us today, Jordan. This is it's been really good, man. I appreciate you. With Bieniemy, man. Do you think do we know he's interviewed, and I put that in quotations because like we know the stories behind him out there. Like a lot of these things have been fluff, or some of them. I'm not gonna say a lot, but some of these interviews have been fluff. They didn't really hold any weight, and he ends up back in Kansas City for like 2 years in a row, which is fine because you're still in an excellent situation as a coordinator. What do you think, from an outsider's perspective, we may be missing with Bieniemy? Why? I don't want to say it's his fault. I'm not painting the picture in that way. But what are we missing from an outsider that can be a reason from a strategic or offensive coordinator perspective why he may not be where we think he is or where he should be?
For sure. Yeah. Like you listen to Eric Bieniemy talk, and like being in the Zoom rooms, like you can instantly tell the energy from when Reid leaves to when Bieniemy's in there. Like it doesn't change. Like he speaks like a head coach. People respect him like a head coach. So I know it's not that he can't lead. I think that maybe teams want the quarterback coach because like he's a running back guy. He's never done that. So it would be weird if like Reid made him the quarterback coach and then he suddenly found that job. That could be something that people want to see, like a guy that either you see like all the defensive minded head coaches. So that's like a lame excuse. Like you really have to almost fabricate reasons why he's not a coach right now. But I guess there was some stuff that went down when he was at Colorado that it's like a tough question. Yes. Yeah, it's a tough question to ask in the interview, and I guess that's no one ever gives the reason why, because like obviously you can't leak what happens during the interview, but no one ever says like this is why it didn't work out or this is why we're going in another direction. And he speaks so well that I can't believe that he would go in and like absolutely tank an interview. And he just doesn't seem like that type of guy. So it's just a mix of, I think, stuff that happened a long time ago that he gets asked about in interviews, and then also maybe not being a quarterback guy, which is also a rough excuse to have. So there's really no reason for it. Like I think he's an NFL head coach. Teams have made it clear that they hire much worse people, much worse leaders, much less like qualified people for those jobs.
I mean, shit, we gave Jim Zorn a fucking head coach.
Exactly.
Oh, my goodness.
So I thought this was the year. Like I had already given into the fact I had an article ready to go. Like I had one written out where I had to just hit publish that Eric Bieniemy left. It's still in the drafts. Like, he hasn't been hired by anyone. I think the Mike Kafka, the quarterback coach, he might end up getting a job before Bieniemy, which is like absolutely insane. It sucks.
It does.
I got a question. I just got two questions. Besides the Chargers, were there any other good jobs out there? Because I'm thinking Philly and Detroit.
I was going to say Houston, but Houston's definitely not a good job.
But he may have had a long leash with Houston, I would imagine.
Yeah, the Jets, I think, were interested. Which I mean, that's an interesting job. I don't know if it's a good one. So that's a good point too. Maybe it was partially him saying like, maybe I'll wait until a better job opens up or something like that.
Possibly. And then another thing, we were talking about running backs, and how do you feel about 22, Mr. 5'9", 200, like 220, 225?
Yeah, something like that.
You think he's good, man? I have my opinion on it. I'll let you tell. You see it more often than me.
Yeah, I think he is. Like, I think he's going to be McCaffrey type weapon he was in college. I don't think so. But could he be like close to 2,000 like all-purpose yards, like being a big threat in the receiving game, run for a little over 1,000? I think he could do that. Like, the thing that sucks is if he gets drafted in the second round, no one's talking about it. But because he was that first-round pick, everyone's like, well, you know, you were drafted in the first round, you have to be this superstar running back or whatever. And that's just not the Chiefs' MO. Like, right now, they aren't built to, you know, feature the running back or whatever. Like, they're a vertical passing team. But I think if he can get used to the playbook this year and get more involved, that Mahomes, because Mahomes, his first couple of years, he would look down the field and then, like, his progressions would go closer and closer from there. And that's still kind of the case. But maybe as he gets wiser and stuff like that, he'll kind of take those checkdowns and stuff, which will make the running back better. So I think he's good. Do I think he'll be like a full-blown superstar? I don't think so. A, because that's not really him, and B, the Chiefs don't really need him to be that, if that makes sense.
Nick, did you say he was 22 or he said he was number 22?
22. Number 22.
He's not number 22.
I was
trying to save you, Nick. I thought you
were
saying.
I wasn't going to say anything.
So do you want to say his name, Nick, or should I say it for him? So we know who you're talking about.
Hilarious.
Edwards Hilaire, bro. I know his name.
I knew who he was talking about. I should have said something, but I was just like,
it's
close enough.
He threw me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Did he get hurt last year? Did he get hurt last year?
Yeah. He pulled his groin and hurt his ankle towards the end of the year.
And then that's when the Le'Veon.
That's where he signed Le'Veon.
Yeah, that's when Le'Veon got.
Last question.
I wanted to ask you about
Go
this.
ahead.
Go ahead, right? Because I was
like, what I need to know. Maybe you know. Maybe you got some inside scoop for me. I need to know if you got the inside scoop. What exactly did Andy Reid do to Le'Veon Bell for him to feel so personal about?
And at the end he said that everything was fine. Like, that's still my guy. Like, like somebody called him after and was like, bro, you might want to, you know.
Like, my thing is, if you have a problem with Andy Reid, like, it's probably a you problem.
Yes.
Like, what player
what
has ever, like, and then he, like, is trying to talk about, oh, I'm going to come back, this will be the year. Like, half the NFL coaching right now is from the Andy Reid tree. Like, that dude, if you don't like Andy Reid, they're not going to like you. And I'm like, Andy's, like, the most respected head coach out there, pretty much. One of the nicest dudes. So I don't know if they were in a meeting and Andy was like, you know, you just don't have it anymore or what. But, like, Le'Veon didn't really have it anymore.
He definitely hurt Le'Veon's feelings, bro.
Yeah, maybe he called a spade a spade. I'm sure the way Le'Veon made it sound, it's like he said something racist or, like, said something bad. Like, I was like, what horrible thing could Andy Reid have said or done? Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah,
and, like,
Le'Veon, you're not that quick anymore, man. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah.
Nick was just saying that last week.
Yes.
Nick, wasn't you just saying you feel like that whole patient running stuff is not really going to work anymore with Le'Veon? I think he was saying that last week, if I'm not mistaken.
It only worked with that offensive line.
He was like super. He didn't have that, like, he'd be patient, but he'd have a burst at the line of scrimmage. He didn't have that burst. He'd be like patient and then a little psst, and then next thing you know, he's getting smacked in the hole, bro.
It definitely was a sound effect for me. But I thought because of how dominant the Chiefs passing game was, he had no choice but to be successful, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, everything is downfield. They cannot load the box at all. They can't.
Yeah. And he still couldn't.
And he still couldn't be productive. But Hilaire came in and was doing it, Slim, from the first time he touched the ball.
Yeah.
I think the way they run the ball, it's two different systems. So, like, in Pitt, he had the chance to, you know, get the handoff and actually see what's going on. In Kansas City, it's like, all right, get the ball and go to the hole. We know what hole he got to go to, inside zone.
Well, and the line in Pittsburgh.
There.
The line in Pitt was a lot better than the Chiefs one last year. So, like, how old's Le'Veon? Like, 29? So it's not like he's completely washed, but, like, he had that 1 year. That's why he held out, because they gave him the ball like 300 some odd times. He was like, I'm not going to waste my body. You know,
that was probably the worst business decision he ever made.
Yeah, he thought it was
the
bad.
best.
I'm sure he did. I'm sure he thought it was the best decision.
Yeah, so Le'Veon is 28. So, actually, he just turned 29.
It's not like Le'Veon was out here getting smacked, though. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
He was out there. He was elusive. You feel me? Like, people weren't really touching him. If Le'Veon was going to the ground, he was falling forward. Le'Veon wasn't out here getting trucked by nobody. He wasn't getting big. He wasn't getting those on him. So I can see why he had the mindset. Yeah, give me the ball every day. I want to just keep running the ball. And you got the line. And if I'm not mistaken, the Steelers had they had a passing game too. You know what I'm saying? So they couldn't load the box against them either.
Nick about to say something ignorant. I know it. Let's hear it, Nick.
Yeah,
it's because how he said it. I already know.
I was about to say he was doing all that, but wasn't getting no yards, bro. He wasn't. But that's why they started giving the ball point blank. Hey, that little 1 yard you keep getting there, Curry, but we can't do that. We know that. So you know what I'm saying?
Who's sharing?
Hey, so look. I got one more question for you, boys, and we could go ahead and get out of here. And obviously, we can plug what you got going on. Obviously, the people need to hear you, man, and hear some words, hear and see some words that you write. So the last question that I got for you is, because we know Kansas City is going to be the favorites coming out of the West. The next thing would be is who is the biggest threat in the division to challenge you all this season?
Oh man, I think it's got to be the Chargers. Like even with the new head coach, like Herbert, I didn't expect Herbert to be good. Like he just wasn't in college, and then all of a sudden he was really, really, really good last season. That dude's the truth. So, the thing with them is like they're cursed. They're never healthy. Like before the season starts, they have 3 guys on IR. So if they can stay healthy, they have Keenan Allen, they have Mike Williams, they drafted Josh Palmer, they have. Did they bring back Hunter Henry? Or did he go to New England?
He went to New England.
Okay. Yeah. So they still got talent. Like they'll be fine, but they're probably the threat. Like I like Denver. I like Drew Lock, but at the same time, Drew Lock's not very good. Like I can like him, but also be like that dude.
Hey, they brought in Teddy B for a reason.
Yeah. So, and then the Raiders. Like I don't even want to talk about them. They're just they're kind of there. So I think it's definitely the Chargers for sure.
Yeah, shout out to John Gruden. Somebody said, all Super Bowl head coaches to be considered as a tier 1 head coach. All right, well that's cool. If that's how you want to base your argument, John Gruden is a tier 1 head coach to you. So shout out to John Gruden.
I got a question.
Yep.
Go ahead.
This is a quick thing you can look up, Ma. Has John Gruden ever outside of that Super Bowl season?
Has he what now?
Your hamster slowed down.
Had a good. Okay.
I couldn't hear you for a second. Go ahead.
In that damn basement, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Has John had a good season besides that one Super Bowl season?
Oh yeah. Because I still remember back in like it's been a while, but back in 05, 06, Washington, the Skins used to be going at it with the Bucks. And the Skins and Bucks played in the playoff game.
Even before,
Ryan about to take him back to his time. Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm just saying, even before he even got to Tampa Bay and Oakland, he had them in the AFC Championship game.
Okay. All right, just want to make sure, man.
Yeah,
hey, Mo, did you see the message I sent to the group chat when they were talking when Derek Carr was talking about trying to get Adams to come to the Raiders?
I saw that, and he needs to worry about winning in the cold first before he even talks about recruiting Adams, bro. Like, how you gonna want Devontae? Like, he said they best friends. I'm like, bro, it don't work like that. Like, he can be your best friend and don't want to play with you. Like,
exactly.
Come on, it don't matter. Like, worry about winning the game in the cold first, because you struggle in that instance. Worry about winning on the East Coast, and then you know what I'm saying. Talk about bringing your boy over there. Man, talking about he's gonna sell his soul to get Devontae Adams. It don't work like that.
He saw other people do it.
Do whatever you want.
Right.
He saw Derrick Henry do it. It worked to Julio. It ain't gonna work the same.
I gotta talk about Derrick Henry right now, but that's not what this call's about.
Right,
I've been waiting for Ryan to bring it up.
Oh, you know what's crazy? I was going to throw the oop, but I didn't know how much time you had. I do appreciate your time, Joey. You know what I'm saying? I was definitely going to throw the oop, you feel me? Because I wanted to pick on Ryan for a little bit.
Eric coming here 45 minutes late talking about appreciate your time.
I was only, first of all, I was watching the Twitch. I'm saying, the whole time I was getting dressed, I was watching, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? I was watching the question and stuff. But I do want to hear you, Jordan, talk some shit about the Titans real quick, because I don't bang with them at all.
Ryan's been so good to me for the past 50 minutes, bro. I don't even I like the Titans. Like, they're a good team. I like Tannehill. I think he's a good quarterback. Do I think that the Titans are like a top threat in the AFC? I don't, but I still like them. I think that I think if your running back is your best player in the modern NFL, you can't do
man.
it. Like I don't and like I like Henry's so good, and Tannehill has had some games where he has stepped up and been that dude, but like until he goes and does it in the playoffs, I just don't know. I'm just skeptical. And the AFC has some good teams. I think that Tennessee's going to win like 10, 11, maybe even 12 games this year, but I don't know. I'm also spoiled because I watch the Chiefs every week, and I'm like, well, like, what are these peasants ever going to do? You know what I mean? So it's tough to
peasants. I like that.
It's tough. I do enjoy watching the Titans, though. They're a good team.
I think I think Derrick Henry's a good running back. I think he'd be a better running back. I think he just has the Brandon Jacobs effect, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's why he's good in the league. People don't want to tackle him, bro.
Brandon Jacobs can never do what Derrick Henry did in the league.
I'm not saying he's gonna come out here and
he's about to come back as a defensive end. You see that?
Yeah, he put that little video out there. I respect it.
I'm not saying he's gonna drop 2 stacks, Ryan. I was just talking about size and then people moving out your way. You feel me? And like they're just being hoes just all the strength. Like people see Derrick Henry like, bro, I'm getting out the way. But honestly, bro, for as high as he runs, bro, he should be getting knocked on his butt. But people don't do it to him. Derrick Henry, they already shook by the time.
So you think people don't try?
I've definitely seen some people would try. Yes, there's been some brave souls. I don't think
Rick is saying people make business decisions at times when it comes to Derrick Henry.
Bro. And I don't think they should. I think because he runs so high. I feel
like
because he runs so high.
He's not criticizing him, Ron. What's up?
I said Derrick Henry.
No, but listen, this is the thing, because me and Eric have had this conversation multiple times, so you haven't been privy to this conversation.
Now, Mual, during Titans games, I will call Ryan when he does answer the phone during the game, and I'll be like, Ryan, I like Derrick Henry, bro, but why does he constantly run like a pencil? Bro, he's too big, bro. He is too big to be running like that, and Derrick Henry could go from a 2,000 yard. Huh?
Derrick Henry's tall, bro. It's like he can't
tall, bro, but that's why I say he's like Brandon Jacobs. That's why I feel like Brandon Jacobs. I feel like Brandon Jacobs didn't last that long in the league because one, he ran high as hell. People was always going for his legs. He wasn't protecting himself for real. Now, granted, Derrick Henry don't take a lot of big hits for real at all. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I just feel like if he did dip his shoulder, it might bring down his longevity in the league a little bit, but I think he'll be a better running back than what he is currently. But Derrick Henry is a good back. I get that, Tom. I just don't think he's gonna be a rushing leader this year. That's it.
Okay, he's only done it back-to-back times. It's all good.
That's why I love Ryan, bro.
What did you just say?
That's why I love Ryan, bro.
He's only done it back-to-back times. I mean, he get it. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, first time since 2007.
It's cool. I mean, all you got is
big deal.
All you got is.
Here's what I would say to your point, because I agree with you. There are players where I wish he would run harder on certain situations. But, can I sit here and say there's a lot of times where I can sit here and say, well, I wish Derrick Henry run harder than this. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the same, like, the production level that he puts out is crazy. I mean,
you won't even look at it. I get it. I get that, right?
You know, it's all good. But I agree. I told you I agree with you. You know, there are times when he could run harder, for sure.
So, I guess we'll close it out with this then, right? How do you feel about what Jordan was saying in terms of just having that running back as your best player? Like, is that something that you think about?
To be honest, I respect what he had to say because I feel the same way as him because I talk trash to my boys, but I really do feel like we're making a Super Bowl run. I mean, that's just not. I'm dead serious about that. But at the same time,
this year or next year,
not beating out the Chiefs this year.
Well, Super Bowl run, they got to beat them all.
That's what I'm saying.
Here's what I'm saying. All right. Jordan was saying he got to see it to get done. Right. At the same time, I'm like that too. Like you can talk all you want about I need you to see it do it, but I talk junk to y'all. But I really feel like we making a run. I'm just keeping 100 with you. But
me too.
The question as far as can we win with our best player being Derrick Henry? For sure, because we are loaded on offense, and with him being our best player, I'm not too mad about that. Because at the same time, you coming into the game, you thinking you're gonna load the box. I mean, it just depends on how you plan on playing us this year.
Yeah, like good luck.
The box on us, and you got a problem that you got to deal with out there. I mean, Eric know a couple things about them out there. I ain't gonna talk about it. But I like to see what our tight end position gonna do this year. Anthony Ferguson is gonna be his first year starting.
Jeff Swain.
Yeah, my guy Swain.
Shout out Jeff Swain.
And he gonna win the
Jeff
Swain. That's my guy, bro. He just need to be on a good offense, bro. That's it. He gonna be good for you, bro. he's going to be good.
Yeah, he's a solid type.
And he can block, bro. He got you, bro.
That's what he does best. Block.
He can block.
Man, he can get you 600 yards, bro. 3 TDs.
He can get you 604 tuds. He can get that.
No.
Easy, bro. Underneath,
Raj not folding, fellas. He's not folding, man. At all. So look,
I like Jeff though.
Jordan, man. I hope we were a great distraction for you, but you kind of got to get back to work, my brother. Things do come to it, and you got to get back on the clock and get some reporting done. I appreciate your time, man. You've been great, and you definitely give us some insight that obviously we are NFC East, AFC South fans. This is the perspective that we need, and obviously for people who are listening, like the NFC East teams, previewing what the Chiefs can look like and what we have in store for them when we play the division this year, man. So we definitely appreciate your time. Let the people know what you got going on, where they can find you, all that stuff. This is your time to give all your plugs, my brother. Let everybody know what they can do to keep in contact and keep in touch with you.
Yeah, man. So thank you guys for having me on. It was a blast to chop it up with you. I'll definitely be down to do that again sometime.
Hey,
follow me on Twitter. Yeah, for sure. Follow me on Twitter at Footnoted. That's FOOTENOTED. Man, I got high school football scouting, NFL stuff, baseball stuff, NBA, NBA draft. Like I have golf stuff sometimes. I'm an addict kind of. But I think that's what keeps us coming back to sports. For sure. Man, again, thank you guys. This was fun.
Absolutely. I love your background, bro. I like the background. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it, man.
I like what I'm seeing, man. I like what I'm seeing.
I appreciate it.
All right, so well that wraps it up for this week's episode of Trap or Dive. Next Tuesday, I will be back with the Washington football side. We got some guests in the works, and when things come about, I'll announce it then. And then the fellas will be back next Wednesday, and we shift to the AFC East. I said North to you all in that group chat, but AFC East. So, again, appreciate everybody for watching live. Appreciate all the follows and all that stuff. If you like the content, please rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. And we appreciate y'all. And we'll be back. We'll be back next week, fellas and ladies. Peace.
Appreciate you, Jordan.